Yo, what is up, my friends? It's Mochi back with another video, and today's video is a team building guide for Anime Vanguards Update 0.5. If you guys could like and subscribe and hit the notification button, that would really help me out. I'm doing a Rengoku giveaway in my Discord server once trading drops, link down below. Without wasting too much time, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up, guys? It's Mochi, and I'm here with kind of a different video. I haven't seen any videos on this and someone recommended it, so I'm here with a team building guide. As you saw in the thumbnail, I'm going to be going over boss event, story, infinite, all that good stuff, you know, raids, all of that. I'm also covering challenges, so stay tuned for that. But let's just start off with the boss event. I'm going to be starting off with 4 units, and then 5 units, and then all the way to 6 units. And sometimes the units will vary, and I'll let you know too. But basically, we're starting out with 4 units. For boss event, you want to prioritize Chain. Chain is a no stun and almost full AoE. Probably one of the best units to use for boss event, especially if you're just starting out. You get her evolved, and her alone can get you through boss event. She's a super good character. And then you got Vegeta. Vegeta can simply just be your starting character. You don't even have to fully upgrade him. He's just a really good all-rounder unit. You can't upgrade him after you're done with Chain. It's just a really good starting unit. You place 4 of him down, and then you can upgrade all of your farms. And speaking of that, both farms. During boss event, you go up to 30 waves. Both farms are a priority, really. You should be using both farms. So that's the first one. That's all the way to 4 units. And then we get into kind of 5 units. This is where you've kind of progressed into the game and you know what you're doing, so you got a main DPS. Now Tengen's just going to be my main DPS for all of this. You can have a different main DPS. I do suggest for boss event, though, you have at least Egress or Tengen or even Chain, simply because they do not get stunned, and 2 of them are full AoE. Super good for boss event. And then we also get to the second character, which you can either do Chain or Vegeta. It doesn't matter. It's really your preference. And then we can also throw in, where is she? Haruka. Now, Haruka is a buffer and the only buffer in the game, which makes her really good and makes her meta. So you're going to want her. And then we throw in the 2 farms, like usual. And now, this is where we get to 6. So 6, again, you have your main DPS, or like I was saying, if you want, you can switch it to Egress. Now, personally, I think Egress is better for boss event, but, you know, it's all up to preference and what your guys' stats are on them, because stats matter in this, since it's traitless. So you got Tengen, you got Chain, and then, since you have that 6th slot, you can throw in Alligator. Crocodile. Now, he's a slow. Only slow in the game. He's really good. Really, really good. He's really good support. And then you throw in, obviously, your 2 farms. And then you can throw in either another support like Sasuke or, actually, yeah, Sasuke. or Agony, but I don't really suggest bringing him. Or just Haruka Rin. Haruka Rin's really solid. You should just use her. She buffs everything, so really good unit. And then this is where we get to kind of story, challenges, or legend stages. Now, I'm just gonna put this out there. These 2 alone will get you throughout story, hands down. These 2 units. just clear story for you. It'll clear story for you. It'll clear the 30-minute challenges. I'm not sure about daily, unless you have him evolved, obviously. If you have Vegeta evolve, I would say you can do daily challenge. He's that strong. He's a really good starter. But if you want to make it a little more complicated and bring 4 units, you can do Vegeta, Chien, and then you can also bring Naruto. Now, the only reason why I say Naruto is because he's a multi-hit, and he also has these 2 passives. Now, it makes it so his SPA goes down, and his damage also goes up, even on first placement. So he's a really good starter unit, and he also costs relatively cheap. So that's the only reason why I'm putting him up there. And then you can bring Speedwagon. But if you have 5, you can also bring in, you know, Haruka Rin or an extra DPS, Igris, Tengen, or maybe even Sasuke, Sunjin Woo, you know, all up to you. 6 units. This is usually what I bring, you know, I'm going off of that. And then Haruka Rin. So I got my main DPS right here. And then if for whatever reason the story or challenge is really hard, as in the boss, I upgrade Sunjin Woo to his summoning stage, and then just use him there. And then we got Vegeta for starting out, and we got Sprint Wagon, obviously for money. And then we got Crocodile for the slow, and then Haruka Rin, obviously for the buff. And that pretty much covers story, challenges, and legend stages. And then this is where we get to the new thing, you know, raids. And honestly, I've seen people solo it with just Vegeta. Crazy. Vegeta is still an insanely meta unit, you know, still really good. I love him. But yeah, Vegeta's passive is just so good. It's plus 100% and hitting one enemy. That's what makes him really, really good. But I've seen people solo it with just him. And then we have Blossom. So Blossom is a must need, honestly, a must bring for Act 4, because your units get stunned. And if you don't have her, then you can't cleanse your units. That's what she does. She cleanses them. And she's the only unit in the game that does that. And then obviously we have the two farms, so you can bring that. And then we get to the 5 characters unlocked. So we got Tengen, and then we can bring Vegeta for starting out. So Tengen, obviously, like I said earlier, just main DPS. But I would suggest Tengen as like the top person, because they get I forgot what the percentage is, but they get a certain damage buff, and that makes him really good if they're part of like Demon Slayer. So Rengoku would, Akaza would, and Tengen would get a damage buff. Really good. And then obviously we bring the 2 farms, and then Blossom, obviously, because you need her. And then 6 is pretty straightforward too. It's just Tengen, Vegeta, and then you got your 2 farms again, and then Blossom, and then you can throw in maybe a slow alligator, or you can throw in Haruka Rin, or even Sasuke. It's up to you. You can also change out Tengen for Rengoku, you know, it works. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a Demon Slayer unit. You can use Akaza, but I simply would not encourage it unless he is used for starting placement. I mean, that is not saying you can't do it without Akaza, it's just there are better options than him. You know, he's not that great of a unit. And then we get to everyone's favorites, Paragon. Paragon acts like an infinite, meaning it gives you a lot of money every wave, meaning both farms are great for this too. And I'm also going to be going over shield breaking, regen stopping, also known as bleeding, or just straight DPS teams. So for straight DPS, we're going to get Vegeta in there, Sun Jin Woo for the boss killing, and then both of the farms. Pretty straightforward, you know. That's for 4. And then if you want to, you can also swap out Sun Jin Woo for Tengen, you know. Full AoE unit, super good. And then for the 5th unit, actually, you can bring in Crocodile. Really good unit, obviously. And then if you want, you could keep Tengen, or you can bring in Egress. Now, if you're doing Paragon, I suggest Egress over Tengen, simply because of his passive, plus 25% when dealing damage to a boss. That makes him do a lot more damage to the boss. I don't know how much exactly, obviously, but it's plus 25%, and it's really good. Or, you know, you can also do something like this. It would mean that your Sun Jin Woo buffs Egress, and that's something you can also do. And then you would bring Vegeta, both farms, and then Haruka Rin. And then Vegeta's just there for starting placement, or even shield breaking, you know? He's a really good shield breaker. Now, this is just the straight DPS team. And then we get to shield breaking. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. Sasuke. Rare Sasuke. Best shield breaker in the game. Surprising, I know. But for shield breaking, you know, we bring Sasuke, we bring Vegeta, and then we bring both farms. Now that's literally your shield breaking team for 4 slots. And then if you want, you can also bring Sasuke. This is for 5, by the way, sorry. Tengen. Vegeta. Where's Vegeta? Oh. And then both of farms, obviously. So Sprint Wagon and Takarota. And then if you want, you can add in any of the supports, obviously. Haruka Rin, Sasuke, or Crocodile. And then we get to regen. Regen, so you can bring Inosuke if you want. I would suggest bringing Bean though. Simply because he just does more damage and he bleeds more often, I believe. So you can do that. So we got Bean, Vegeta, and then both of the farms. Those are your 4 units, obviously, you know. So those are your 4. And then obviously we're gonna bring in Bean and then Tengen, your main DPS, Vegeta, and then both of the farms. Pretty straightforward. And then it's the same thing again. You bring a support. Haruka, Sasuke, Crocodile, you know, any of those. Super good supports. And then we get to the last one, Infinite. Infinite, honestly, I would think is pretty straightforward. I bring these 2, Vegeta, Chain, both are really good. Vegeta's best boss killer in the game. And then you could also bring maybe another DPS or even Crocodile, and then Takarota. Now, I'm only bringing Takarota. The reasoning behind that is because it's an infinite. If you bring Speedwagon, yes, you're able to upgrade your units sooner. But if you have just Takarota, then that gives you an extra space for a DPS or a support. And it also means that, I mean, obviously you won't get money quick, but you'll still get money to the point where you'll be able to upgrade everything. If, like, obviously you can go to high waves. I mean, if you can't go to high waves, then, I mean, you could get rid of Crocodile and then bring a second farm, but I wouldn't suggest it. And then we get to 5 people, so we got your DPS, And then we can bring Vegeta and Chai-In. Vegeta will always be a starter. Always. I love him. Such a good unit. And then obviously you have your support and then your farm. And then once you reach 6, this is kind of where, like, okay, I've played the game a lot. I have decent units, you know. So this is just my personal team. You could switch it up, honestly, or if you don't have the units, you know, you can substitute something. But I bring both of the full AoEs. Super good. Sun Jin Woo. You know, Sun Jin Woo's a must if you're going to bring Agris. And then you got, where is he? Vegeta. Vegeta, good starter unit, you know, good boss killer, all-rounder. And then you could bring Takarota and either Alligator or Haruka Rin. As simple as that, you know? And obviously you guys feel free to comment down, you know, let me know if you guys would want to change anything around or ask me any questions on if this unit's better than this unit, or ask me if I can substitute this unit for this unit. You know, just let me know down in the comments. I will definitely answer you. Thank you so much for watching. You know, make sure you go down in the bio. I have my Discord in there. I'm doing a Rengoku giveaway once again. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and thank you.